Eucharist of the General Convention, where we just finished with a rendering of anybody ready for revival. And we know that in Iowa we've been ready for revival all this last year and into the future. I was on the legislative committee for formation and discipleship. I want to tell you the kind of people that are coming through this church wanting to be formed as disciples of Jesus Christ. They're young, they're from every kind of race and ethnicity, they're transgender, they're non-binary, they're single, they're married, they're every age. God is stirring up this church for something special. And those people were coming through our committee asking for resources that fit their situation to become better disciples of Jesus. It was just a wonderful, wonderful committee to be on, just for that purpose alone.
I think there are about 4 things I'd like to at least mention. One is the equality of women. I think there are very few women bishops. And I think that is a problem for the national church. I think the Episcopal Women's Caucus Festival Mass was wonderful last night with Barbara Harris, who was ordained in the 70s. It was a very enthusiastic service, emphasizing the need for more women, more bishops, and priests, which was very, very nice. Also, I thought there was a lot of equal treatment of transgender, broadly defined transgender Episcopalians, which I think is very important, as well as the visit and the church service to the detention center for the undocumented women, which were almost like 530 women there, including 40 women whose children had been taken from them. It was very meaningful, even though you did not get to see the women. And in 4th, I would say, particularly I enjoyed being part of the Committee on Social Justice and U.S. Policy, attacking gerrymandering, and also my subcommittee was immigration. And we drafted a very comprehensive resolution, including a citizen pathway, which I thought was very important. In fact, the whole conference, equal treatment of all people, seemed to be the major theme, and I was very pleased to see that kind of emphasis.
One of the exciting things that happened was some of the prayer book decisions that came through our convention. Some of the exciting things of the prayer book that we have expansive language that is being used for the right to Eucharistic prayers, A, B, and D. We also have a larger, broader stance of marriage equality throughout the church, and a new calendar of saints for lesser feasts and fasts.
What I'm excited about is the legislative committee I served on, which is environmental stewardship and care of creation. We worked between 15 and 20 resolutions, a couple that give a very broad statement of environmental purpose for the Episcopal Church, and others that are particular ways in which congregations or faith communities, as we preferred to call them, or individuals can support that work, participate in it, embody it in their own lives. Policy statements are great, but we need each of us to do our own work in walking lightly on the planet.
I think I was as impressed by the nature and content of our discussions in the committee as I was with the resolutions that came out from it. Everything that our committee proposed was passed with incredible support in both the House of Bishops and House of Deputies. Those things included a commitment to continuing to have our anti-racism training, but to focus more on dismantling racism, on the action part of that training, and to say that it's a part of our lifelong formation. The new mandate says that we expect that leaders in the Episcopal Church will undergo ongoing training in this area and formation. And so hopefully will get us out of the checkbox mentality we've been in this work. We also passed resolutions that condemn the use of racial scapegoating and scapegoating of other marginalized groups for the sake of political gain. We passed resolutions that encourage clergy and lay leaders to be prophetic voices against the racism in our policing that has led to way too many deaths of people of color. We passed resolutions that allow for the development of a framework for anti-racism training that could be adapted to multiple contexts. The curriculum that we had been using was very focused on a U.S. context, and we are the Episcopal Church that is all over the world. And so the framework allows for specific components to be included, but also would allow for it to be adapted to non-U.S. contexts.
This has been an eye-opening experience for me in so many ways. It's both been a pleasure to see old friends whom I haven't seen for years, to put actual faces to names from Facebook contacts, and it's also been a very fulfilling experience to see how our church works together. Not to mention that our worship together has been both lively and spirit-filled. I am so grateful to be part of our diocese and our Episcopal Church. God is with us, and I am so excited about our future. Thank you.
One of the things that happened this General Convention that was really amazing is the Diocese of Cuba rejoined with as an official diocese presence in the official Episcopal Church. What had happened was they were separated in 1966 due to the Cuban Revolution, the Episcopal Church ties, because it was mainline American, just had a whole bunch of issues between everything. But 52 years later, here we are, and it was a unanimous vote in the House of Bishops and in the House of Deputies to accept them back.
My committee assignment was the Evangelism Committee, which I was very excited about, considering our experience with Revival and the Growing Iowa Leaders program and my own passion for spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. I actually got to speak to the subject yesterday when the subject of the Evangelism Charter came up. It's sad that all of the resolutions on evangelism were A resolutions, which means they came from the commissions, committees, agencies, and boards from the Executive Council. They weren't from the ground up, and we hope that there comes a time when dioceses all over have all kinds of energy and ideas and actions going on in their diocese to bring new people into the church. I think the highlight has to be Bishop Scarf's address to the convention, and then following that with the revival at the Texas night, and the presiding bishop's absolutely incredible, beyond sermon that night. To live, to choose life, to live into the gospel, and to live into the energy that Christ in the Holy Spirit pours out on us. So that's been my highlight.
It is a very, very different kind of church that we're leaving here today, and I hope a lot of its outcome just flows from us to you and to our own revival follow-ups with Growing Iowa Leaders and engaging all disciples over the next 2 years. God bless you all.